Hey, what's up, everybody? We'll go live here for a minute and give everybody an update on what's been happening with the storm. Haven't really done any driving around yet. The storm's still way to our south here up in the upper panhandle, but I'll be out and about here soon enough as it approaches us. But it is 6:42 Eastern, and they just upgraded our system now. It is officially a Category 4 hurricane with 130-mile-an-hour winds. And look at this satellite right here. It's going to strengthen more. I mean, this thing is not showing any. We're getting some massive cloud tops here on this visible satellite. Incredible, incredible satellite imagery. Large storm, hurricane force winds, maybe 100 miles wide. Um, so has been ever so, every update a little more to the east for Tallahassee could be good news, but way too close for comfort. With a Category 4. You got to remember, bigger storm, wider winds. Ian's a real example how you can have a hurricane with far-reaching winds and not get so caught up on that eye wall. This is one of those large, wide systems. So thus we have hurricane warnings extending on both sides. Massive storm right now currently. So watching this, develop still and seeing it's amazing structure, no dry air. This looks like it's going to keep, the models pegged it, strengthening up until landfall. And this is only going to magnify things as this goes north. Nasty weather through Florida West Coast right now. I've seen some videos coming in. All the Tampa Bay bridges apparently are shut down. All that surge is starting to happen. As the system passes right now, all this water starts coming in on the backside. You can see these feeder bands. So the surge is just starting along the Florida West Coast. Okay. This is going to happen through the night. High tide's coming. So it's just beginning the surge. Okay. You might think the storm's passing you right now, but this is when the bands start coming up. Okay. Um, so massive storm, lots of impacts. The eye is making that trek to the north. I think it's going 23 miles an hour right now. But it's still several hours away. It's supposed to make landfall at 7. It's it's turning dark here, so we still got a lot of time. Looks like the eye is clearing out. Peaking at the wrong time is not what you want on a developing hurricane. That's for sure. Here's the latest cone. Interesting with the new cone, they pretty much have took out the cone. It's covered with hurricane warnings. Okay, I think they're doing that for a reason to get all of us away from looking at that cone so much and worrying about these little track changes. We'll see the feedback. This is the first time we've ever really seen this in action this close to a landfall. Red hurricane warnings, blue tropical storm warnings. We have tropical storm warnings for the whole state of Georgia. We got tropical storm warnings up in the North Carolina, all of South Carolina, and obviously Florida's still feeling it as we have feeder bands coming through. So massive impacts inland. There's an H. We're gonna have hurricane gusts all the way through Atlanta. Guaranteed power outages. We've already seen trees go down here. We see trees at home going down. We got water accumulating. That's the latest right there. There is the one story of this system is the rain. Pink is rare flooding, high chance. Talked about this our last update from the Gulf all the way to the mountains. Could be some serious problems in the mountains from double-digit flash flooding rains through tonight and tomorrow. So that's going to be a story, unfortunately. Add that to these hurricane force winds through Georgia and the Carolinas. We're going to have a lot of power outages. We could have power outages in Nashville, it's Knoxville, all parts of Tennessee. This system's going to turn northwest and it's going to stop and it's going to bring a lot of rain and a lot of wind. Okay, that has not changed. Storm surge hasn't changed. Still expecting 15 to 20 foot where I'm at right here. St. Mark's. Met the owners. Little restaurant or grocery store called Boland's, and they brought me a shirt. They were so happy to hear that I was uh, here in their little town. This building was built in 1938. 36, 1936. So it's survived a lot of hurricanes, but this area has never had a Cat 4, this Big Bend area. A lot of cautious folks out there right now on what they're going to expect. Then tornado warnings here. We got or tornado possibilities still ongoing here through the Florida Peninsula. Yellow, bad. Dark green can have tornado warnings. Yellow definitely can have tornado warnings. Orange definitely can have tornado warnings. So pay attention as we have storms coming in off that Atlantic. Okay, big storms off the Atlantic. The other story that's now becoming a little bit more something we need to watch is tomorrow and through tonight. We now have enhanced for Carolinas. All right. That was up there earlier. Storms through tonight and tomorrow. Our system's going to park and we're going to see storms coming in off the Atlantic. Okay. So don't be surprised if we continue with tornado watches and warnings through tomorrow. And this is some of the areas that just were hit with PTC 8. Okay. Now you're going to be dealing with tornadoes. All right. So that's an updated Storm Prediction Center map. I want to show something real quick and then I got to sign off. Julie's calling me. I think it's getting pretty rough at home. Old school steering maps. This is something I was going to post earlier, but I didn't want to get into this whole steering thing. But this is kind of what Reed Timmer's talking about. He's actually west of me. We have a high pressure development here over the Atlantic. We have a low pressure coming in currently that this is going to eventually merge into. So we have a low pressure, mid-level low. We have a high pressure, and it's kind of splitting that gap. This is old school steering right here. Why our system is slowing down a little bit earlier is it was reacting to this kind of steering change. That's when storms react to steering changes. They sometimes slow down a little bit. So that's what it's doing. It's shooting the gap. High pressure to the east and low pressure to the west. It's pretty fascinating to watch this happen. And if you look at the latest tracks, the reason our tracks are pointing that direction is it's getting pulled into that low pressure area. So very odd, different type of setup. But it is a Category 4, and it is unfortunately appears to be strengthening. Okay, so everybody should have already evacuated by now. Unfortunately, I talked to a local sheriff, and a lot of folks up here did not evacuate. They're trying hard. They're going door to door. Category 4 storms is nothing to mess around with. This is pretty serious. And again, this orange ball is tropical storm force winds. The darker orange ball is hurricane force winds. So even though we got that cone, we got hurricane winds way outside that cone. Hurricane Hermine 16 went almost the same track here in Tallahassee area, and locals told me we had no power for 2 weeks because of Hermine. That was Category 1, right? So I still think we're going to see some sneaky effects for Tallahassee, especially with these trees. So all right, that's it for now. I'll do an update here later on. We will be streaming live pretty soon through the night. So grab your